Man, what is this monkey business? Dude, no, I'm not doing this today. I'm not doing this shit.
Where drugs? Where? No.
Hey everybody, welcome to Room 666. Today I'll be reviewing Kong, Skull Island. Let me see that Kong. That Kong, the Kong. The film takes place in 1971 and is about a group of explorers and soldiers who travel to an uncharted island in the Pacific, unaware that they've entered the House of Kong. Whose house? Kong's house. Let me hear you say, whose house? Kong's house. Whose house? Kong's house. Alright, Jordan Vogt-Roberts is the director of the film, and it's his second film. His first film was, I believe, Kings of Summer, which was basically a coming-of-age film about three young boys finding themselves in the woods or something like that, you know what I'm saying? Woo! And this one, from that movie, I don't think you would expect that he could direct a big budget action film like this. But after watching it, his direction really reminds me of the way that it's paced and how fun it is of some of the best scenes from things like Indiana Jones or Jurassic Park. So you can tell that he has a lot of influence from those films. Someone like Michael Bay should probably take note as to what Roberts is doing with this film, because he films big CGI battles, like when Kong is fighting the other monsters on the island. He films them from a far enough distance and without, shaky cam and a bunch of jumbling stuff going on. You could actually see the clear shots of Kong fighting and the moves and the different things that he does to the other creatures. It's actually done very well, and those are actually some of my favorite scenes of the film is when Kong is fighting because of the way Roberts films them. He's lined up to direct Metal Gear Solid, and there's some action scenes in this film that kind of reminded me of video game cutscenes, and I think that's kind of a good thing. They were pretty cool. They looked really cool. They just felt cool. You watched them, and you're just like, they were just those scenes where you're just like, fuck yeah. You're just like, yeah, now that's a fucking action scene. Let's get into some real monkey business and talk about our girl, Brie Larson. Brie Larson's character is an anti-war photographer, but she's never the damsel in distress or just the love interest. Give me a big old monkey case. She actually brings a lightness to the film while also being a strong character, holding her own against veteran actors like Samuel L. Jackson and John C. Reilly, as well as the big CGI action scenes, so I'm really excited for what she's going to do with Captain Marvel. Let's talk about motherfucking Samuel L. Jackson. He plays a lieutenant who isn't ready to leave the Vietnam War behind just yet. And the character is basically a war-torn, angry, bitter man. And it's Samuel L. Jackson turned up to 11, baby. And he says, get all these goddamn motherfucking monkeys off this goddamn motherfucking Skull Island. Tom Hiddleston plays a former British SAS officer who's known for navigating jungle terrains and uncharted territories. He's pretty much just all-around British badass, kind of like a James Bond and Indiana Jones combined. He's a Indiana James Bond Jones. Tom Hiddleston's got enough charm and charisma so that you'll follow him into the jungle when he tells you, hey, let's go into this jungle, eh? To get killed by this giant ape. It's not like it's his greatest acting role ever. Alright, now let's get to my favorite role, my favorite part of the whole film, John C. Reilly. I mean, how was he not going to be, right? It's John C. Reilly. His character is hilarious. His character is extremely, emotional. There's a lot of things I'd like to get into, but I don't want to spoil too much about John C. Reilly's character because it's not like it's just something you would want to experience. You can see the pain and suffering in his eyes. He brings a lot more to that character than I think any other actor would have. He actually has a lot of emotion that he brings to each of his scenes, even though he's playing it for laughs. And you feel his loneliness because, he's been on that island kind of dealing with this tribe that he doesn't speak the same language as, but he's finally sees, people that he hasn't seen since since he crash landed on there, he hasn't seen anybody. John C. Reilly is able to convey this sort of awkwardness and silliness. You'll love all the scenes he's in. He does well in the action scenes, in the drama scenes, and all the adventure scenes. Everything is great. John C. Reilly. Yeah. Let's talk about the main ape, the Big Kong. In terms of King Kong as a character, you definitely root for him. He's like, because you see it as like they came into his territory and he didn't do anything wrong. He was just there. He's just trying to live his life. So you really do root for him as a character. There's even some stuff that happens that I won't spoil for you because I don't want to bring out the spoiler monkey. But there's some stuff that happens with him that you really kind of start to feel for him. For Kong, you're just like, oh shit, like you really do root for him because he doesn't do anything wrong. He doesn't want to kill anybody. He just wants to hurt people who are hurting him. He just wants to defend himself. I mean, I'll root for Kong in the Godzilla fight when he fights Godzilla, but that's only because he's got the better movie. But also, he's a good character, so you'll probably want to root for him, but, whatever. Godzilla's a piece of shit. Fuck that lizard. Also rounding out the cast, we have John Goodman, Jason Mitchell, Corey Hawkins, Richard Jenkins, Shea Wiggum, and the white boy from Me, Earl, and the Dying Girl. Who else was in? Is there anybody else? In conclusion, everybody, I would say go out and see Kong. It's a great, nice, big budget action flick, and it's starting off the blockbuster season just right. Go see it. It's way better than all the garbage we got last year, like Independence Day, Resurgence, Suicide Squad, Batman vs. Superman. Fuck that shit. King Kong is actually doing it right. It's fun. It's going to be one of those films you're probably going to want to watch more than once. Go see it. Let's do it. Get Kong. Get Big Kong in the theaters, baby. You know what I mean? Oh, and Dr. Doom.